Hi, Freddie. I'm Ruben Napales from Rappler, and folks, I'm here with Freddie Highmore on the set of The Good Doctor in beautiful Vancouver.
Hello.
What are your thoughts going into your sixth season as Dr. Murphy and being part of a hit series that has lasted this long? And also, congratulations on your 100th episode milestone.
Thank you. It feels the 100th episode feels at the same time a very big milestone and something very meaningful, and also just like any other episode, you sort of hole yourself away on the set and you keep going and put one foot in front of the other and try and tell these stories as best we can, and then suddenly you blink and 100 episodes have gone by, which is kind of crazy. But I feel very lucky more than anything to have been able to play this character for so long, and also for the for people not just in the US but internationally to have responded to the show. It's kind of amazing.
And your portrayal of a man coping with autism has been highly praised, and you've earned a Golden Globe nomination for it. How will this character and his condition continue to evolve in the show?
I think that's the the core of the show, certainly from my character's point of view, is, as you're saying, it isn't just how this one character doesn't change and sort of continues to move through the world, but how he is evolving over time. And I think if we look back now to the pilot and to that first season with this naive, innocent doctor arriving and finding himself slightly overwhelmed by the situation that he found himself in, it's so interesting to see how he has changed today. And I think, of course, there's a preconception perhaps that people with autism, because of their condition, can't change or can't evolve. But that's one of the things I'm most proud of, is the way that Shaun has grown so much and is now married and is now thinking about starting a family of his own. It's remarkable.
And you've directed several episodes of the show, and also an episode of the Bates Motel.
Mm-hmm.
So is directing something you'd like to do more of?
Absolutely. I've loved both, getting to write and direct on this show, and I'm going to be able to direct another episode this season. And yeah, I love it. I love being involved in the wider process, and with directing, just getting to work with the actors on these sort of small little nuanced emotional beats, and also figuring out how best to tell the story visually.
And just for fun, if Dr. Murphy and Norman Bates get to meet somehow, what do you imagine that will be like, and how will it end up?
I know it would be the first thing that strikes me is it would be hard to film. I'm not sure how we do that one, but I mean, I don't know. I'd like to hope they'd get along. I guess they'd have me in common, so they could use that as a starting point for connecting in some way. It would be an interesting showdown. I'm not sure if they. I think at their core, the two of them, despite Norman sometimes going off the rails, I always believed that he was a good person deep down. So, I have a hope for a world where they could just be friends. And live happily ever after.
That's a great answer. What can you share about Shaun and Leah's relationship in this new season?
Yes, so now that they're married, I think that the challenges and obstacles that they face are just even bigger, really. They're talking about the biggest questions in life, whether they want children, whether they're able to have children, when that would be. So it's certainly a big season for them, and there's a lot coming their way.
And going back to one of your answers, are you still surprised at how The Good Doctor continues to be popular around the world?
Yes, I think I'm continually surprised, in the sense that it's never something we can take for granted. And I just feel very lucky that people continue to tune in and to watch the show and to want to see these stories. I feel like it's increasingly rare to get to play a part on television that lasts for this length of time, this many seasons and this number of episodes, and so it certainly feels like a special show to be on, as it represents something that I think is becoming increasingly rare.
And can you share about the evolving relationship between Dr. Murphy and Dr. Glassman, and also between you and your character and Dr. Park?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I mean, Shaun and Dr. Glassman's relationship this year is going to go through some necessary changes, I think. Obviously, Shaun is now married. Lea is the most important person in his life, and that role has always been, until very recently, Dr. Glassman. So I think the two of them are going to have to evaluate and reset, redefine what their relationship is. And as for Shaun and Dr. Park, I think they're sharing an office this year, which is exciting, and I think they are getting to understand each other on a friendship level more than ever before. I think Shaun finds it difficult to share an office with him. There's a sense of frustration at times, but I really like the idea that deep down the two of them have a lot in common, and exploring that friendship is something that's really interesting this year.
And for my last question, can you talk about, you have lived and worked in Vancouver for many years, maybe several years now. So what surprised you the most about working here, and what you like about it?
It's kind of incredible the amount of time that I've spent in Vancouver, because Bates Motel was filmed here, The Good Doctor's here. So this is my 11th season in a row filming here. And I mean, it's a beautiful city. It's sort of odd describing it in the sense of, it was sort of from a sense of distance, because it's become such a big part of my life and where I spend most of my time. The scenery is absolutely stunning and takes my breath away all the time. The water, the mountains, the forest. It's a beautiful city to live in, and I love the smallness of it. Definitely when I go back to London now, I'm sort of overwhelmed. I think I know what a city is living in Vancouver, and it's absolutely, very different to the city that I grew up in. But the people are wonderful, the food is great, and I'm lucky to be here.
Thank you very much, Freddie, for having me on the set of The Good Doctor here in Vancouver, and it's great to see you again.